Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Lower Leagues Footy Podcast. I'm Alan, as usual. I'm joined by Dan and Stephen. Good evening, lads. How you doing, Dan? What are you doing, Dan?
So I was just closing the door, mate. I could hear my kid downstairs just shouting John Cena. I was like, let's just
How are you doing anyway, Dan? It's your birthday weekend. It's your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow. But you've been celebrating this weekend.
Yeah, been out and about. It was a rugby Saturday. I didn't watch any of the game. I don't remember the game. Got battered before we went in. Had some friends around yesterday. Again, had a few drinks. Slept in my son's bed. What was random.
Where did he sleep?
He was in there as well. He's like, "You got to sleep with me." I'm like, "Oh, mate, don't." Yeah. Head on earth. And then today, I've been left chores to do what I've done. I've successfully done my chores, so she might like me. Yeah, all good though, mate. All good.
Keeping her happy indoors, yeah?
Keeping her happy, having a pint. I'm fine.
Well, look, we've got Stephen, and we've also got Max. We've got a bit of a winner's circle episode tonight because Stephen, you won the what was it? The intermediate trophy cup.
Yeah. Job done.
Yeah.
Now. That's it for me. Yeah, I'm gonna go be MK Don's women's manager now. Decided.
Yeah. Good luck with that. And we've also got Max as our guest tonight. Max Budgeon, you are the Stewkley first team manager, and you won the North Bucks Premier Division as well as the Open Cup. How are you doing tonight?
Yep, all good. Thank you, gents. Thanks for having me on. Still, I think all the lads are still enjoying themselves after last weekend. All in good spirits. It's been a good couple of weeks for the club with the devs getting promoted yesterday as well. All in all, a very good season for the boys in yellow and black.
Yeah, no, very good.
Thank fuck they've been promoted. That means one less good team next season.
We should also point out that a bit of a poor effort from you, Stephen, last week with you pulling out of your last game of the season.
Yeah, to be fair, I said this to James on the day of the final. I said, look, if we win the final, there's no way we're playing next weekend. Everyone was away. Everyone was like, oh, yeah.
All mentality.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a winning mentality, it's what we do. You wouldn't know.
Is that what winners do, is it? They win something and they just give up and not play?
Yeah, on the beach. Straight on the beach. Straight on the beach.
Players are already looking at other clubs.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Moving on.
That's what happens when you've got a good. That's what happens when you've got a good team.
Something at Grendon, there's nowhere else to go. It's like you've achieved like Leicester winning the Premier League. It's like it can't happen again. So let's just move on.
It's gonna be a long hour, isn't
it? But look, we'll kick off with you, Stephen, quickly. But in all seriousness, obviously you were in a final last year. Ridiculed by us for your attire and stuff. Which
let's talk about that one.
You want to talk about that? This year, the cup final, you didn't turn up in a suit. You didn't have names on your shirts and the cup final emblazoned on the front of your shirt. But the Buckingham manager did turn up in a suit and a shirt and tie.
He did actually. It's
funny. Embarrassing.
I went after the game. Obviously, I was very very, very, very humble after the game. But we got to the bar afterwards, and we both stood at the bar and I looked at him and I went, "Yeah, that didn't work for me last season either, mate." literally turned up. And the problem, I think, the worst part was right. So last season, obviously, fine. We all did suits, fine. But he was the only one in a suit, just the manager.
Really?
No. You didn't just do suits. You put the fucking fixture on the front of your shirts.
Look, it's
on names. Don't forget the names on the back.
Look, you can say what you want now. Now that we've won a trophy, you can say what you like.
No, you can't. It's like Spurs winning Europa League. It's all of a sudden.
Oh, don't start with that, Dan. Don't start. Don't start with the old pretty parade. Oh, woe is us. Woe is us. We didn't win a trophy this year.
They've had a more successful season than Arsenal, haven't they, this season? Because they won a trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
Have they really? Is that
got Champions League? What more have Arsenal got than Spurs? They were both playing Champions League and they both won fuck all. Really?
120 million, probably, more than Spurs.
That you won't spend.
Yeah, we won't. They're not
there you go.
Anyway,
in all seriousness, Steve, obviously, how good is it to finally get something like that over the line?
Yeah, you know, I said it a few times before. Like, there's just been so many years where, like, the last 2 years, and then we obviously had it before where it was just cup finals. Like, we lost about, I think, the first 3 years we lost 4 semi-finals or something stupid. Like in the first like 3 seasons, and then obviously last year came second, and then last year as well, so like cup finalists, but not over the line. So it was one of those where I was thinking, is this going to just end up being nearly, always nearly? Do you know what I mean? Because it was just. But then now, to be honest with you, now that it's done and now that we've won it, like I just feel very calm about everything. Like next season, going into next season, I'm just chill because I feel like the pressure's kind of gone because I know that we can do it. What's he laughing at?
I don't know. I don't know what Dan's
like you've won the Premier
I can't
League.
tell.
Yeah.
I can't tell. But I think Max is frozen.
No, I'm still here.
No, he's not. He's laughing as well. The way you're talking.
Max's screen is frozen. As long as you're still here, Max.
I'm still here. I'm still here, mate.
Yeah, okay.
It's been
We
a
can
long
hear
time.
you.
Oh, relax. It's fucking North Bucks, man.
Yeah, but it's so many seasons where it's just like always nearly, like not getting over the line. So now to do it, it's just I just feel very content with everything. So I feel very, very calm now about everything. I don't have to worry about winning too much all the time, because it's not always like, oh, Stephen nearly did this, Stephen nearly did that. No. He did it. He did it for the whole fucking season last season and all of this season. Yeah, you can shove it up your ass now. That's it. That's it. Shove it right up your ass, Dan. I might get. Yeah. I might
you know what?
One of the shirts, the number 19, and have the fixture written on it.
It's all about being kind in 2025, so I just feel like if Stephen if this makes Stephen happy, then fantastic for him. I've never seen anyone so happy to win a park pitch cup.
I think the actual winning of it and being able to look at you and you squirm and not have anything to say but nice things.
Don't bother me. You won it. Did I not send you a nice message on the morning?
You did, but afterwards you said, I think you called me a twat, and then you went PS.
I said good luck, go get it done.
No, we nearly didn't get it done, actually, to be fair. So I'm happy we got over the line.
If only Ollie Powell knew to just shoot left, but you know,
I know he went right, so yeah, if he'd gone left, it would have been fine.
It just scored, just buried it 1-0.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, can we talk about a proper trophy now? Like, you've done your bit. Gwendol won. Well done.
Yeah.
Move on. One actually Max, numerous amount of games to win.
So Max, was it your video? No, oh, he's back. His video's back. Yeah. So obviously,
with the Open Cup. I found it really funny because he was just.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that for a good 5 minutes.
It was like.
So obviously, you won the Open Cup a couple of months ago, and you've now topped that up with the Prem title. How tough was the run-in for that? Because obviously you were competing with Simon at MP United, who was supposed to come on tonight, but couldn't come on tonight because he's working.
Didn't want to.
One of them ones.
Didn't want to celebrate being second. Yeah.
But before you answer that, though, you've got to ask a question. Did you honestly think you could win the title before you started? Was it an honest ambition, or was it like halfway through the season? No, fuck me, we're in this.
Yeah, good question. I think obviously this is my second season in at the club, and at the start of last pre-season, we got the lads together, and I said, look, I've come in here because I want to win things. I'm not coming here just because I want to, roll in and turn up on a Saturday and have a couple of beers. And it took them a full year to kind of be like, oh, actually, okay, we're like Max means business. I'm not going to come in here and piss about. Like, he's going to be on me. He's going to try and make everything work better. And I think last season, the lads didn't believe in themselves. It was kind of we got through to the end of the year. But this year, I knew what I had. And I suppose there was a few lads that come back from university that had been away for a few years, and they were coming back and they were making us much stronger. And then as well, we had a lad that was a striker that I'd brought across from Pitstone, but last season before he played about 3 games and got injured, and then we just didn't have him around. So I knew what we were capable of doing. I knew we were well within a shout of competing. But you never know what other teams are going to have. You never know what other teams have been up to in the summer. And we just built on what we'd done the previous season. So for me, yes. Did anyone else in the North Bucks believe that we were going to be up there competing to win the Prem title? Absolutely not.
Did we fuck?
Yeah, we backed it, didn't we? And why would you?
We didn't. We backed MK United. Don't lie, Alan.
Yeah,
we didn't. We both said MK United.
Look, we won 6 or 7. I think I was looking at 6, 7 games last year in the league. We finished 9th. We were in a relegation battle last year. Like there was no 2 ways about it. We were fighting towards the end of last season to stay in the league. We did that, and then we've just built on what we'd laid the foundations of the year before. The lads knew what was expected of them. We set up in a system. We play in a set way. They know how to play in that system, and our defense is unreal as well. You look at, we've conceded 23 goals all year in the league, and that's brilliant. You look at that and MK United finished, I think, 29. So they've conceded six more, and they've finished second. And if you look back at the last, as far back as full time will let me go, nearly 10 years, no one's ever won the Prem with 55 points. And MK United would have won it with 52 every other season. So that was where you're at. Like this year, as in terms of us two is battling out for the league, was 2 very good teams. And they deserve their props in terms of where, because they started slow. I think they lost 3 in the first sort of 2-3 months of the season. They lost against us. We beat them at home 2-1. They didn't lose a game after that. Didn't lose a game in the league after that. They might have drawn a couple, dropped a couple of points, but they pushed us all the way. There was plenty of times where we were going, oh, come on, just do us a favour. Just drop a couple of points and then it makes our life a little bit easier. But they pushed us all the way. So it was bloody hard work. I'm not going to lie. We got towards the end, it was just like, this is never ending. This never ending. We got to the point where. Sorry, go on.
So we spoke about them on here before. Are they as direct as I remember? Like for a good team in the Prem, they're quite direct, and they just lump it up to Dom. They don't play good football, if that's what you want to call it. That's me and Nick, who run the first team, we coach our lads to. I know people have slayed it on the back. I know Kingy absolutely hates it as well. But we play out from the back, centre back split. And then we go and play from there. We go and attack the wide areas. It's all about transferring the ball from left to right as quickly as you can, overloading fullbacks, go and play wide, and then get balls into the box. Runners with your 8 and your 10 and your 9 being in the box. That's how we play. We play football, and MK United are the complete opposite, right? And evidently, both ways can work because. They tend. Whenever we've played them, we've played away, played them on the tiniest football pitches, and it's so frustrating because obviously then we can't play the way we want to play because everything's so compact and so tight. They go back to front as quickly as they can. Can they win a second ball? And then they'll play off there. And they've got that Luke Little who plays in the 10, and he's brilliant. He gets on the ball, he finds pockets of space. He's just a very good footballer. You can tell that he's played levels above where he's now playing. And Dom Lawless knows what he's doing as well. He's just a handy striker at that level. And that Jordan Spruce seems to have got himself into a little bit better nick as well when we played him last. And he was dictating play a bit more in the middle. But yeah, they're the complete opposite to us. They just go back to front, quick as they can, play off second balls. There's bully teams. And they're good at it. They're good at it. So yeah, they're a completely different outfit to what we are. I think we learned the hard way. We obviously went over there and we could have won the league at their gaff a few weeks back.
we lost 2-1, went 1-0 up, lost 2-1, 1-1 at half time, and then they scored not too long after half time, went 2-1 up. I think they got like 8 players booked. They were just they were 2-1 up, and it was like, we will not lose this game from here. We will drag you all the way, and we will kick you. We will stop you from playing. We'll stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do. We're going to stop you from doing it. And we smashed the bar in the last minute, and they got the win. And then, obviously it then meant that we had to go and play MK City and then beat Willen as well to go and win the league on the last day. So, but it was almost more fun that way, in a way. Looking back at it now, to get the Saturday we did last weekend was just, it was brilliant.
So do you think you can, because again, I invite Stephen to step in here because he managed it. I personally don't think you can continue, at our level of football, you can continue to keep playing football. I'm now adamant, like we try to play football at Shanghai, and I'm adamant you can't on the pitches you're playing in the North Bucks. You have to go more direct. As much as Stephen tries to make out their team play football, they don't. They're very good at being directing corners and quick wingers, getting into areas of space. And it's just like, I wonder, I mean, the Prem, what you got in the Prem, Twyford's a nice pitch. You can go and play football there.
Mm-hmm.
Bradwell's is it a nice pitch over at Bradwell?
Olney's going to be, obviously they've just got promoted, haven't they? So they'll be a good side. We found it very easy to play there.
In the Prem, is it more conducive in the Prem to play football rather than the shit pitches we play on Stephen?
Probably not. I mean, there isn't that many great pitches, right? Ours isn't fantastic. We've had a load of work done to it, and now we've got more being done this summer, so we will get there with ours. But we haven't spent a lot of money to get it to where it is. But you're playing on we're playing on similar standard pitches to what you guys are. There's the odd one that's half decent. MK Cities is really, really good. They've got a pitch in really good nick. The guys that do their pitch are now doing ours, so I'm hopeful that we can get it somewhere decent. But it's going to take 2-3 years. So no, the pitches aren't great, but I think you just got to have a philosophy and believe in it and really back it, and get the lads to buy into it. And if they believe in it and they go and do it and they see that it works, you'll do well. I said to the lads, it's not rocket science. Have a philosophy, have a real set way of playing, understand what you want from your players in set positions, and just go and do it. And it will take time, like it did for us. We had a year where we relegation battle season before, but just back what you believe is right. And if you do that and you have a set way of playing, and you can bring those group of players with you on that journey, then it will work. But I understand what you're saying. At the same time, is it easier to just pick the ball up as a centre back and then just lump it up to your 9 and play off him, or put the ball into the channels, go and chase the ball, and then try and play high? Yeah, it is probably easier to do, but I suppose I'm kind of like a modern day coach, probably. I don't like watching that. So for me, and when some of the goals we scored this year, you just think that just like, that's mustard. It looks so good on the eye, and you think it's a proper way of playing football. And you've seen lads get better because they understand the role that you're asking them to fulfill. Whereas if you're a midfielder, how soulless is it going back? I'm just running after the ball. I can't get on the ball and dictate play. You're just chasing it one way or the other, and then hoping you can pick up scraps. And I don't. For me, that's not how I want my team to play. So back what you do and what you believe in, and we've proven you can do it. Like, because I don't think you guys have come and watched us, but we don't. That isn't how we play. We don't go back to front. We do play through the thirds. We do go and attack the wide areas, get the ball into the box. And that's how we score all our goals. Any of the clips that have gone up, pretty much all the goals we score come from balls into the box and challenging and winning. And that's just the philosophy that we have. So yeah, you can do it. You just got to believe in it and back it, and also have a squad good enough to do it as well. It's easy to say this is how I want to play, this is what I want to do, but you've got to have some good footballers that can implement what you're asking them to do as well, right?
100%. And like you say, you've proved that it can be done. Because you've won the Premier Division this season. You said earlier that when you first went in there, you said to the lads that you wanted to win things. You were there to win things. You're not there to just have a kickabout on a weekend and then have a beer afterwards. Was there a sort of a culture shift that you needed to do in order to get them to believe in what you want to do?
Yeah, he got rid of Kingy.
Yeah, that wasn't me. It has nothing to do with me.
I wonder why he went on tonight.
Good riddance to him, though. No, I'm only joking. We were, I think 100%. You're talking about, a lovely little village football club that's been around for donkey's years, but the senior section's not won anything for 32 years until this year. I mean, in terms of league titles, they've picked up, cup trophies, and last year obviously we still won the Open Cup, but it's hard to win things, right? It's really like, as Stephen will attest for, I know Dan's ribbing him about the final, but it's really, really hard to get your hands on silverware. So to get the lads to believe, and I think especially after last year, there was probably quite a few moments last season where some of them probably just thought, and they said to me in the pub last week, and they go, games we got pumped a couple of times away at Old Bradwell last season, and a couple of them were like, do you know what, I was so close to just going, I can't, there's just no point anymore. But they didn't, and they stuck with it, and you can see the difference, but you lose people along the way. Of course you do, because people go, oh, it's not good enough, or I can do better, or I can get, and good luck to anyone who thinks that. But yeah, it's hard. You just got to keep believing in what you're doing and hoping that it comes off, and if it does, you look brilliant. But if it, and we are lucky. I suppose we're in that position. But yeah, the lads just worked their nuts off, to be honest. And
are you lucky with your catchment area? I'm just trying to think of so you and Wing are sort of out the way of Milton Keynes, aren't you? So
so our devs is a lot of lads from Leighton Buzzard. So, but our first team is we were counting it up, involved in the squad that beat Willen that day. We had 9 lads from Stewkley. So, and they're Stewkley born and bred. They're Stewkley born and bred. They're not, they're not they're not moved there from Leighton, or they're from Stewkley. So to them, it meant the world, because they've not seen any senior team. They've played in the youth sections, and they've grown up with it, but they've not seen any men's team go and win anything, and they're the ones that have been able to go and do it. So yeah, 9 involved in the squad that are Stewkley born and bred. A couple of other lads that aren't from Stewkley but played through the years as junior section there. So we are predominantly like Stewkley as our catchment area. Maybe we're just lucky that we've stumbled across a crop of players that are just good and all of a similar age. But yeah, I suppose we do nab some lads from Leighton Buzzard. Obviously, my brother plays and he's from Leighton, but there isn't many. There's a couple that are from Leighton Buzzard. The odd one lives in Milton Keynes, but yeah, we are predominantly, the first team is predominantly Stewkley lads.
Yeah. So who's the star player in your team? Who's the? Because the reason I ask that is we get used to hearing certain names in North Bucks. We're like Dom Lawless at MK United, great player, dropped from a good level. Like at your team, if I'm being honest, I can't say I know any of your players. No. So who's your superstar?
They're all quite young. It's probably why I've never heard of them, Dan. So we've got one lad's come back from uni, and having him in and around everything that we've done this year has made a massive difference. Although we'll add that he did piss off to Australia for 6 weeks. So during the season. So but he does make the world. There's a lad called Tom Carter who plays for us. He's a very good footballer.
He's been there for a few years, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Stewkley lad. So but he went to university and then he came back this season. So and he can play anywhere. You can play him. Honestly, you could literally play him anywhere on a football pitch, and he would probably be one of the better players. normally plays either in the 10 or on the left wing for us, but he did a stint for us up top as well at the start of the year. One of our biggest things as well, really, probably this season is Pat, was injured the season before. He's been in and around it this year. He scored 17, and to be fair to him, he started the season and then something was up with his knee when he got scanned and he torn his meniscus. But he just decided to carry on playing on. So he got a date booked in to have it done in January, to have it fixed. And he was like, no, I don't want the surgery. I'm just going to play with it until the end of the year. I'll manage it. So he didn't train that often. He'd turn up and play on Saturdays. But yeah, he played out the rest of the season with a torn meniscus. So fair play to him. He scored 17 this year, which is a big difference. He was top goal scorer, but that made a big difference. Having that sort of he's big, strong, number 9, put the ball in the back of the net. It just causes teams problems because he's big, strong, quick. A lot of centre backs don't like facing those sort of strikers. So he's big for us as well. Those two are probably the biggest two in terms of going forward. But our defence has been brilliant. Our fullbacks are class. Normally, because I always joke with that, as I say, go and attack the wide areas because the fullbacks are always the worst players on the pitch. So that's kind of that's my philosophy. Is their fullbacks will be shit. So go and attack them. And I'm okay to swear, aren't I?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
If not, you fucked it now. To be fair.
So have you. No, said. Yeah, so just go and attack the wide areas. Their fullbacks will be shit. Just go and attack them, go and attack. And actually, probably where we're strongest is our fullbacks are brilliant, both going forwards and defensively as well. We've had another lad come in December, and who he played for a couple of years, but he's only young. He's like 21, 22. But a couple of years ago, he was on the fringes of Dynamos. Was playing for Dynamos for a little bit. I think Batch knows him. I know you've had him on the show before, but yeah, he come in December and he's been brilliant, really good footballer, and I know that Batch has already been onto him to go and play for them next season, but he's told me he's staying and he doesn't want to go anywhere. So yeah, fingers crossed he sticks around as well. But mate, we're just a good team. There's kind of there isn't one player that's miles better than anyone else. Like my brother makes a difference for us as playing in that 4. He sits and just dictates play. He's a bit older, he's 31. He's just been there, seen it, done it, and yeah. And we were. I don't know if do you know Ewan Reeves? He was sort of like our star man for quite a few years.
Super quick lad.
Yeah, really quick.
Yeah.
So he fractured his knee in last year's Open Cup final, and he's not played this year at all. So we've got him to come back into the mix next season as well. It's just a really good squad. We've just got loads. We've just got quite lucky. We've just got lots of good players. There isn't really a weak link, and that's normally where you can unpick teams on the other side because they've got one that you can try and expose. That's probably as much as I can sit on the fence and not say one person is much better.
I was about to say you've
gone for the whole squad.
They're all superstars.
What
most important question to me each week for any guest is: do they all shower, or are they dirty bastards and not shower?
No, they don't all shower, but there's quite most of them do.
Put a title in the bin. Don't matter. There's nothing there.
Most of them do. But it also depends where you are, because can you get a warm shower in some of them? Christ, some of the dressing rooms.
I commend yours, Steve.
What's the worst one you've been to then?
Worst dressing room?
Yeah.
Question this actually.
Yeah, this season, who's the worst? Oof. Old Bradwell's was quite mouldy. There was a lot of mould. They're not actually that bad, but there was a lot of mould in the showers. The floor was a bit mouldy as well. That wasn't great. I'm trying to think where else they're probably the worst, to be fair. A lot of mould. But
so no
you have to go to Padbury's because they are horrendous. They are awful, Padbury's.
Have you ever been to Finmere? Finmere away?
Nah, never been.
No, wait, no,
Fucking hell.
they're not. No, they've got carpet.
Yeah, it's all fucking carpet. It's all like mouldy carpet and fucking cobwebs, and there's a hole in every door.
But compared to Bletchley, they are beautiful.
Oh yeah, Bletchley.
Scott is hands down the worst dressing room in the league.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a tetanus jab to go into the toilet.
It's that like cabin thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's vile, mate.
Yeah.
It is. Lovely guys over here this year. So I want, we're not here to dig them out. Like, good bunch this year, but yeah, my God, their dressing rooms are fucking horrendous.
Are they?
They are. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Ooh, just gives me the shivers thinking about them. Yeah. Stephen's all right. Yours all right, mate. Apart from you get splinters on your new benches, you've done.
Yeah, to be fair, we put them in, and then we didn't have time to do anything with them, so it's just been what they are. They're gonna have something nice on top of them.
They are the sharpest benches you ever sat on in your life.
They're not sharp. They're not sharp in the home. Don't know about the away, mate.
Oh, like they haven't sanded off the edges, so they're like proper.
No, they're sanded in the home. The away, they're not sanded.
Done by design.
MKC's not great. You've been to MKC?
No,
they're not great.
Yes,
they're not great.
Well, it depends what pitch you go and play on in it, because they've got two now. They go either the one that has got the clubhouse, or you go one the other side of the field that's like a recreational ground. And they're like school change rooms where you got your fucking back to everyone. And
yeah.
I've not been in their normal home ones, to be fair.
I'll dig James out. Wovens were the worst. Went away. Didn't even have any change rooms. Fucking got changed on the side of the pitch.
How are they getting away with that? How can you ever not have dressing rooms?
I don't think
you can't.
You know.
They've got brand new dressing rooms. Had them for a year. Never been able to use them.
They got issues with their pitch in there or something.
Yeah, because they've had an issue with their pitch. So
yeah. We played them in the cup. They're not a bad little team. They'll do all right next year, I think.
Yeah, I think they will do well unless they start losing.
I look at Olney and Woburn. I look at Olney and Woburn as better than the bottom 8 easily. We
played both this year. We played Olney and we played Woburn. I thought Woburn were much better than Olney.
Yeah, no, I agree. We played Olney 3 times, and I didn't really think they were that great compared to when we played Woburn.
They're physical, aren't they, Olney? Like, they put it about. I mean, they had someone sent off after like 30 minutes, but Woburn definitely had a lot more about them than what
I think Olney. Going up, I think Woburn would be better just because physically they are better. Do you know what I mean? Like, Olney are good on good pitches and I got young players, but when it comes to Woburn, they have got that sort of like grit and streak about them, which you need to be at that top level, especially when you play like MK United and that sort of team. You have to be a bit.
You have to have a look though. The teams that went up last year, who were good teams, have just been the whipping boys. So like MK City went up last year. They only lost 1 game, 2 games last year, tops in the intermediate. Stephen,
they won. No, Marsh won the intermediate last year.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I mean, MK City went up 2nd place.
Yeah.
They've been getting pumped. I don't know what Marsh haven't been great, have they?
No, they didn't get relegated, but they were literally just above.
Yeah, I think Marsh were really struggling trying to run 2 teams, and then they brought it to 1, and I think they've done okay since then.
Well, they said they're doing another 2 teams again this season, but I don't know, the last 2 seasons, or 2.5 seasons, they've got halfway through, and then they've
just given it up.
Deformed the reserves every year.
Yeah.
I love playing Marsh in January. It's the greatest place in the world to go. If you turn up and the pitch looks beautiful like carpet and you're treading it and your foot sinks, it is horrendous.
Yeah.
It looks lovely at kickoff.
Yeah, there was dog shit everywhere as well when we played there.
Yeah.
That was the 11.
So I know we spoke briefly off air, but what is the plan? Do another year in the Prem, and if you win it, look to go up? Yeah,
so I know a few people have said to me, just go Spartan, go play step 7, like you're more than good enough and I don't really disagree with that as such, but my main sort of reason for not pushing it with the club this year is just purely because we've got such a young squad. We've got lads from sort of like just turned 18 to our average age must be like 19, 20. Most of them are really young lads. And it's almost just that they need to I suppose even just keep like maturing physically, if that makes sense. Like some of them will come back from come back to pre-season, start of this season from a few months off, and you can even see like, you've filled out a little bit more. You've got a bit more about you compared to what you did last year, and I've obviously been at Pitstone and I've experienced Step 7 for a couple of years, and you're playing against proper blokes that have played football for many a year. They've, they know what they're doing. They can handle themselves. And some of our boys perhaps maybe need that extra year of just filling out a little bit, playing more football, and also just go and back it up, go and prove that you are as good as I say we are, or anyone else says we are.
Yeah.
You can do it once. That Leicester won the Premier League once, and then they've never done it again. So how good are you? Can you really go and back that up now? And can you go and win it again? And then go, okay, well, evidently we've got a real good group of players here that we can look to move through with. And then it's just getting the setup right off the pitch as well. So it's not too bad at North Bucks. What have you got to do? Like rope a pitch off or rope one side of the pitch off, and then that's kind of it. Whereas there's much more to it at Step 7. You've got to have committee members hosting, opposing clubs, committee members. You're going to have to make sure the whole pitch is roped off. You're going to have to make sure that you've got everything set up for all of the officials, and there's just so much more to it that people don't really think about. Like, just go and play Step 7. It's not as simple as that. There's more that needs to be done. And I can't do it all. So I've got to have a chairman that wants to do it, and I've got to have other committee members that are backing it as well, because it's not just it's a
cost as well, isn't it? It's a cost.
Yeah. Free
officials. I don't know if it is a thing anymore, but is food a thing now? Still at that level?
When I left, it wasn't. They said you didn't have to continue doing it because of COVID. They were like, you don't need to provide food, but I would probably hazard a guess now that it is. So again, you've got to do food for 2 squads and officials. There's just so much more to it at Step 7 than what the North Bucks. So does the club want to go and do that? I think I've sort of said to the chairman, look, you'll get them sticking around for another year, but if they go and then win it again, and I say, the club don't really want to, you'll lose some players, because they are good enough to go and play Step 7, Step 6, and they're young. So, and teams will start sniffing around. If you keep winning that division, they'll look, who's scoring the goals, who's creating them, they'll come and have a look at you, and then they'll start to poach lads. So the club's kind of got to accept that if you're going to be successful, you've got to kind of move along with that. The plan is we need another year. Let's go and do it again, and then can we from there start to kick on and look to move into Step 7 and beyond.
Do you boys do food now? I don't see I'm asking that. It's all of a sudden in my head I'm going, I think we're one of the only clubs now. I think I've gone to still do it.
You must be the only, I think.
We do it. We do it. It's just, but we do it in terms of like whoever's at home. So if the devs are away and we're at home, we do food. Then we'll just make sure that you do enough food to cover 2 squads. So, but to be honest, no one stays around. No,
they're not.
Not really.
No, a lot of teams away teams. It's very rare in our league. Like you'll know the same. Very rare that a team sticks around. But I think that comes with a lot of teams not having somewhere for people to stay around. Like I know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like you go to Hanslope and we go to the pub down the road or whatever it is. But there's not a lot of teams now. Like we're quite lucky. I mean, Dan, you're quite lucky. Or Stewkley. There are 3 clubs that have got a clubhouse just there. Do you know what I mean? With a bar, with everything. Yeah. I'd hazard a guess say there's not a lot of clubs now that actually, for some that don't have it, so people just get used to going out, just go home.
Yeah, there is a few.
Yeah,
we'll just tend to. We get everyone they tend to just come back to the devs. If they're away, they'll come back, and then so there is always food there, but there's not that many teams that have hung about For a bit.
Shame, really.
We've beaten most teams this year as well, haven't we? So it's probably like it makes it a little bit more difficult. Teams don't want to hang around when they've lost, whereas if they're beating us, they're probably happy to drink our beer as well. So, no, we do food.
It's also like it's a culture thing as well. So we touched on this, I think, last episode or a couple of episodes ago, with a lot of younger players that are in the game that don't drink and won't hang around after games. Dan, you've experienced it with clubs coming to Dean Tanger, and I'm sure Stephen and Max, you have as well. But I think that's part of it as well. That a lot of youngsters that don't really drink and won't bother. They might hang around for a little bit, but won't buy nothing or just go home anyway.
Yeah, most of us stay, to be honest. Like first team, our Devs boys, they all love a beer, but they're all late lads, so sometimes they end up sort of almost they come back, have one, and then they all go down the pub, and then they're out and late and all night. So they're a little bit different to our boys, but most of us stay, and then most of ours will then all end up going out together as well. So they go out there's a couple of pubs in Stewkley. They tend to go there for some drinks, and then wherever the wind takes them, which has probably helped this year, to be honest, as well, with that bit of team camaraderie. They're all sort of out drinking and having a laugh together and taking the piss out of each other when things have gone right or wrong. So no, it's most of ours do, but there is youngsters are just odd now, aren't they? It's like it's just a different breed, mate. Yeah, different breed. You've got the amount where you sort of feel like, so I just want to kick them up the arse, but you can't, and you've got to be like, come here, mate. It's all right, don't worry about it. And you're like, just get on with it. Come on, it is what it is. So but we've got a really good group of lads. So but you need it, don't you? If you're going to win anything, you need a good lads. So even the ones that haven't had as many minutes as they want this season, they're still there, still absolutely buzzing that we've won it, and everyone's out celebrating. It was brilliant. The village we must have had about probably like nearly 150 people up there watching on that Saturday. So it was
wicked.
It was brilliant. Everyone came out, and everyone
Imagine if you had a gate
afterwards. And what's that?
So imagine if you had a gate in charge.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But the bar that day took $2,000. So it was a lovely day as well, which I suppose helps. But there was a lot of people up there. Everyone stayed afterwards, and it was good fun. You can tell it meant a lot to a lot of different people who've been in the village for years, and they've sort of not managed to enjoy any success from a football club perspective. So it was nice.
Is there a big sort of community feel with the club and the village?
Yeah, big time. So up on the wall, you've been in our club, but there's up on the walls. There's all different teams, and people have just lived in the village for years and years and years. And then some of these lads, there's their dads have played for Stewkley. Now they're playing for Stewkley. And on a Saturday, you do get a lot of. We don't tend to get that many people coming and watching, but in the bar afterwards, locals come in, and then they're asking questions. How'd you get on? And everyone sort of keeps track of it. But there's it does tend to be quite a lot of the locals come in on a Saturday for just to have some beers and have a chat. So there is a real sort of local sort of like history around it, which I suppose it's been quite nice for me to learn, because I'm not from Stewkley myself. So, and Nick, who I run it with, he's played for the club. He's managed now. He's been at Stewkley for 30 odd years. And when he first asked me to come in, he was like, "Mate, please, can we just win this league? This is the one thing I've never done. I've never won the league. He's like, I need to win it." And obviously we managed to do that. So it was brilliant to kind of give him that, and now he's got his lad. He's 16. He's going to start playing for. He'll start playing senior football next year. So, it was just a brilliant day, really.
Oh, brilliant. And have you spoken to Simon, the MK manager, since
no,
the title win?
He did message Nick. So he knows it. So Roundy he managed at Stewkley for a season. he's bounced around quite a bit, I think, across North Bucks in different teams. I think MK United were Willem, weren't they, at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I first met him, was when he was Willem.
So on the night of the game where they beat us 2-1, he came over afterwards, like, shook hands and well done, lads, like, all the best. And then he was going, I really want you to win it. I still want you to win it. And me and Nick were like, he can't be fucking serious. It was like, he can't be serious. We're like, if we drop points now, you've won the league. Like, you can't be telling us he thinks that still wants us to win it. Like, and so me and Nick were sort of laughing about it. But then he texts Nick on the day of the game against Willem in the morning and said, "Oh, I really, really hope you boys do it. I hope you get over the line." And apparently he texts Roundy back and he was just like, "Oh, piss off, Roundy! Like, stop with the mind games, will you?"
Yeah, I was going to say a bit of mind games going on.
They all came up. So they on that MK City game, our devs played in the final, and that was at 12. And MK City tried to get our game moved from the Saturday to a midweek. And I was like, I'm not moving the games. I'm not having a free Saturday and then trying to rush around do a midweeker. So basically, we just moved the kickoff back to 4. And MK United were playing wing. So they kicked off at 2. And obviously, wing and Stewkley's a mile apart. And they literally, so our game kicked off at 4. The bar opened. It wouldn't already open. It was like a lovely sunny day. All the MK United boys came over and were watching our game against MK City. So they were all there, and every time we missed a chance, they were all going, "Hey!" So it was quite funny, really. But they were all up there, and then we scored the third, and they all started toddling off, and we were all like, "Yeah, see you later, boys. On to next week." So yeah, it was. He's a good bloke, Simon. He's got a good set of players. He's got good lads. He always seems to manage to find them and get them in from players that have played at a high level. So fair play to them. They pushed us all the way. But as you say, any other year they'd have won it, and they'd have won it comfortably as well. But fair play to Hallwood as well, who obviously were part of it for a long, long way. Every time we were like, surely they're going to drop off at some point. They've got about 13 players. They're all pushing 40, and they still just managed to keep finding out results. So yeah, it was a good little title run. As you look at obviously some of the other leagues, I watched our devs play Grid City, and they were just like, obviously our devs have finished second and they've finished first, but they were just miles better than our devs. I don't know whether they might potentially jump up 2 divisions. I'm not sure, but yeah, they were.
I think that they went and lost the cup final to Hallwood reserves, didn't they? So like it's
yeah.
So it'd be
territory though, isn't it? That reserve sort of like.
That league always has a team in it that does exactly that. Who turns up?
Yeah.
It was Carpathians, then it was Wing.
Yeah,
and it's just that every single year, and it's almost like when I played in it for a few years, you're always looking at it's second and third, fourth. Who are the teams going to be in there? Because they're the ones who are always there. When you get a team comes in, a bit like Grendon in the nicest way. Grendon did it. Turn up one year, come second, go up.
Yeah,
and that's what you get, unfortunately, with that division. But Alan, I'm mindful of time, so I'm going to let you do your little case or wrap up.
Just before we go, Max, is everybody signing on for next year? They're buying in, and we're going to go for it again next year.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware. We'll be back, back stronger, as Peter Crouch likes to say. So hopefully we'll. As far as I'm aware, there isn't anyone that is no longer staying on. So hopefully we'll have a good go at it next year as well.
And Stephen, what about you? Any squad updates for everyone signing on for next year?
In my DM, asking about a goalie, isn't
he? Yeah, I was.
I got that message as well.
Yeah, I copied and pasted it. It's not important, Dan.
Every manager in North Bucks.
Every manager in the whole of North Bucks, yeah. No, to be honest, obviously, you watch Ryan in the cup final. He's well capable of playing a lot higher level than what we are, and I sort of in my head, I'm thinking you need to know your level sometimes. Like, it's not like Stewkley in the Prem where you're playing at like the top level of that, and you've got that scope to go up if you want to. I think sometimes you just have to be real and be like, look, like if a player is wanting to step up, he's young, he's got potential, then who am I really to say no, stay here and play? So he's going to go and trust his arm. I'm sure he'll be back. Like, he might even be back. He said he's not sure yet.
Sure he'll be back. Basically, you're going to go up, fail, and come back.
Well, no, he said to me basically, he said, look, he's going to try it out, and if he doesn't enjoy it, then he'll come and, because he knows he enjoys it where he is now. So if he goes up and doesn't enjoy it as much, then he'll just play normal football. But no, fair play to him. But then other than that, I've had some absolutely brilliant news, like with like, you know, Jack Wiles, who played, he had an ACL injury. He's back this season, so he's signed on, and we because he's had surgery, so he's back in pre-season, which is great. We've had a few players come back from university as well, same as you guys. So we're looking really, really good, and everyone from last season signed on, and we've got a few players like we've had loads of injuries this season as well. So everyone's fit. We've got 6 weeks now, and we've got a 5-a-side the start of July, and then we'll go back into it and see how we go. So yeah, apart from scrounging around trying to find someone to stop the ball going in the net, other than that, everything's very, very positive on my front.
Sounds like you're going to win the league, mate.
Well, we'll see. I said to be honest with you, in my opinion, like we are good enough. Like on our day, Dan, as much as Dan will take the piss, we are realistically, if everyone's fit and we're on our game and everyone's on it, we are the best team in that division if we want to be. But it just depends consistently if we're like that, because we've done it in the cup. We've beaten the top two. The team that won the league, we beat them in the semi-final. We beat Dean Zanger in the other cup. We've Woburn, we should have beaten them. We had 10 men. Do you know what I mean? We've had a season with a lot of injuries. So if we can have a good season next season, everyone back, then I see no reason. Promotion is my sort of bottom level expectation this season. It really is, because we can play in the Prem. Like, especially looking at the teams that are coming down. And like when I look at, obviously with Woburn going up, they're two brilliant sides that will do well in the Prem. Like, no doubt, the teams that coming down are probably worse than the teams that are going up. The only other team
I've played all of them by far.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So the teams going up and the teams coming down, obviously you never know who's going to go where. So teams might jump up. I've got a feeling Silverstone probably should be in the Prem, in my opinion. Yeah. I know Dan, we've had a few games against them this season. I feel like they're a lot more equipped than what we generally are at the minute to go up. So, but it depends what happens there. They'll be, again, a really good side next season. So yeah, aspirations of promotion. Now I've won something. It'd be rude to stop there, wouldn't it?
And why not? And why not, Steve? Why not? I mean, you tasted that success.
And I said this to obviously, when I know it sounds stupid, but with Carol and the people behind the scenes, like, to give them something, finally give them something back. Do you know what I mean? I know it's only a silly little trophy, but it means the world to all the people that volunteer their time all the time, and just to see them happy. That's for me. That's my job done. So we want to go and do that again, hopefully, and because really I want to be the players I've got. I want to be in the Prem, and then in 3 years I want to scope to play higher. That's the aim, because we've got players that obviously are too good for the level. That's why they're sort of thinking, if I want to step up a couple of levels. So can we get to a level where players want to stay and with this club go in that direction instead of sort of finding stepping stones. But no, yeah, good. Hopefully for a good season. If anyone knows a goalkeeper who wants a young goalkeeper or any goalkeeper, obviously wants minutes, then I've been speaking to a few. I've been trying to I'm speaking to Rory as well at Winslow, and just any sort of younger keepers that are around. I've been trying to find someone that just wants minutes and stuff like that for a season. Just trying to get somebody in. But it might be a case of Ryan might come back in pre-season. But for me, it's just finding someone who can do it, because, like you say, finding the keeper is probably the hardest job. If like you say, fullbacks are shit. So if a right back leaves, you can replace him, can't you? But if a keeper leaves, it's a lot more tricky.
Look, if you've got players that want to play at a high level, then you've got my number. So just pass it on to them, and we'll have a chat.
Well said, Max. Well said. Right, yeah. So we'll go off, because I'm a bit mindful of time, and I don't want Dan to say anything nice about Brendan, because he knows I'll clip it and use it.
I was just. You said to you looking forward to pre-season. It looked at me and went, "And we'll call it a wrap." So no, go on. Let's fuck off.
Right, Max. don't go anywhere. But thanks for coming on tonight. Great listening to the story of your season. And long may it continue into next season and future seasons. So thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys.
And guys, thanks for coming on tonight. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, and that's good night from us. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll be back soon with another episode.